Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Kickabout podcast. Before we begin, we just wanted to thank all of you guys for all the wonderful support you've been giving us. When we dropped our last video, we were expecting something in the range of like 20 likes or 20 views. We got like 10 times that. So we just want to thank all of you and ask you to continue supporting us.
Yeah, and it's good to be back after last week's episode. And Dave, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you guys a lot for your support. And Champions League is back. And the
Yes,
games have
sir.
been amazing these past 2 nights. What
Uh,
what what games did you guys watch?
First off was the well-loved United PSG game.
That was
A
such
bit
an
of a
upset.
wild one that was. Yeah, madness.
Yeah, that
Dave,
was a very
how
good
was?
game, and especially a very good game for me as I'm a Man United fan. I
You
mean,
scored all the goals that game, so yeah, that's a first.
Van Bissaka, Tuanzebe, De Gea, 10 out of 10 performances. Like, they did nothing wrong the entire game. The only fault I could make out in United's team was Martial and Rashford until he scored the goal. But Martial has honestly just been really bad this season. One red card, one own goal, no shots on target. The guy, United cannot go on this much longer without a proper number 9.
No, but I genuinely feel like Martial forgot like it was after halftime. Like I think he still thought that that was his goal to head into because that was too clean of a header to be an own goal.
But
I
United
feel
really need to
United played
sign a
well,
number
yeah.
9.
But you guys played well. I mean, if you compare the performances toward Crystal Palace, Brighton, but there's just something
Yeah.
about you guys that you guys turn up in Paris.
And especially Marcus Rashford. He always turns up in Paris.
It's more like every time Ole is about to get the sack, he arranges a fixture to Paris, and then he continues for
Yeah,
another 2 years.
Ole as an interim manager and Ole when he's facing the sack, he just turns up. The tactics were on point, playing Fred and McTominay because they knew PSG were going to be on the attack from the beginning. So playing defensive midfielders who were pressing the ball a lot and then bringing in Pogba late in the game so that they could attack and get the winning goal. That was brilliant from Ole.
That is very true. But having said that, the other team was in fucking shambles, like absolute fucking shambles. That manager, people call Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a PE teacher. This manager should be an elementary gymnastics teacher. What were those tactics? Horrible, horrible. There was a time when PSG were building out with like two center backs and the wing backs were high, and United were pressing with three up front, and Bruno Fernandes goes to press the keeper, and he's shadow pressing the CDM. Like, get another midfielder in so that you can do the build up play, but all they did was fucking long ball, long ball. It felt like we were watching Burnley play. This is absolutely unacceptable. For the bucks they've spent, they're using Burnley tactics. The team is an absolute fraud, and so is the manager. I don't know what you guys think, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean, yeah,
yeah, you go
Dave,
on
go
there.
ahead.
Just you go
Oh,
on, you go
sorry.
on.
Thank you. I don't know what is it with Neymar's finishing when it comes to these games. I don't know, his finishing drops to zero. He does everything. Like, he'll get the ball, he'll create few chances, he'll run at the defenders, get past them. But when it comes to shooting the ball, some bullshit he does at that minute, it just goes off. I don't know what is with him. It's a recurring trend. I think the last three Champions League games he has been like this. He's just not been able to convert his chances, and it has paid a price. It has come at a cost. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, Neymar and Mbappe should have done better, but they were in Tuanzebe's and Van Bissaka's pocket the entire match. And De Gea pulled
uh,
out some world-class saves as well.
Yeah, that should die up.
that is somewhat true. But if you guys realize, PSG didn't really play with a striker. So they bought Mbappe from Monaco and they turned him into a winger. Neymar is a number 10 and Di Maria is a fucking midfielder. So they played with literally no striker. With I don't know if Icardi was on the bench, but they played with no out and out striker.
Yeah, I mean the same problem as United. not having a proper number 9.
But your number
But
9 scored on the night.
yeah, in the wrong goal.
That too, but
Yeah, fair play to United. But
Yeah,
I have a question to you both. Do you think PSG should be considered as one of the best teams in Europe, given the way they have been playing? They have not had a very good start to their season. I mean, that first game of theirs was a shit show with the number of red cards we witnessed, and the
true.
Champions
yeah,
League fallout. So, do you think they should be considered as one of the best teams in Europe? What's your take?
Dave, you
I
want to take
mean,
that one?
yeah. Currently, I don't think they should be considered because they've just been beaten by Man United, who have almost beaten by Brighton and beaten by Crystal Palace. It's just showing the
Uh,
levels between the Premier League and the Farmers League.
Farmers League and
So,
all.
I mean, I'd like to make that same joke, but then again, my team lost to mid-table friend side from the fucking Farmers League, so I'm not in a position to make those jokes. But what I'd like to say is that I feel PSG rely too much on individual talent. So I think they think that this is school football where the tactic is to get the ball, run and score. So like if it works out, then you'll get the headlines, you'll get those Instagram meme pages making fantastic memes about you. When it doesn't, then this is what it turns out to be. So I don't think United, like just because they lost to United, they should be considered a bad team because on the counter attack you could lose. But there were large parts where United were the aggressors in the game. So I really don't think this manager to start with is any good in Paris. So I don't think they're one of the favorites in Europe at least at this moment in time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right,
I
boys. Moving
mean,
on, there was a bigger upset on the night than United defeating PSG, which was Real Madrid losing to a team which half the world has never heard of,
hey,
but
let's
a very
fucking
good team.
go. Hey.
Barca fans are all hyped up now, which was Shakhtar Donetsk. So this team plays in Ukraine, and they were missing 10 of their first 11 starters, and they won 3-2 at Santiago Bernabeu. Welcome to the Champions League.
It was just so bad. I mean, Shakhtar actually played really well. The goals the goals that Shakhtar scored were pretty good goals. And Madrid just they need to step up. The last outing in the La Liga, I believe they lost 1-0. Coming
To
to
a
the
newly
Champions
promoted
League,
side.
yeah, to a newly promoted side. Coming to the Champions League, losing to a team in Ukraine 3-2.
That was some Cadbury team, right?
Yeah, I have no fucking idea.
It was
I
some
but but
mean,
but to be
goodies,
fair,
yeah.
they were sort of inching their way to a comeback to in the second half because
they
they made
were.
it 3-2, but then that last one was a clear offside according to
Yeah,
VAR.
they shot in the ending minutes, but
Yeah,
the
I
goalie
think
was blocked. That was offside.
we need to tell our viewers that Shakhtar Donetsk scored 3 goals in the first half. So at the break of halftime, the score was 3-0, and Madrid scored 2 goals. Luka Modric with a wonderful, wonderful fucking kick to bring them back into the game. But in the dying moments, they thought they'd equalized, but I think who was it? Vinicius Junior, who was standing in an offside position in the view of the goalkeeper. But one of the most important say aspects of breaking down this result is that Sergio Ramos did not feature in the Madrid defense. How big of a miss do you think he was?
I mean, Varane scored an own goal, and they
I
really
think
do need Sergio Ramos
I think
because
Varane needs Sergio Ramos. That's the thing.
yeah, Varane needs
Varane
Sergio
needs
Ramos
him.
to play properly, just like Arsenal need Aubameyang to play properly.
I find it a little harsh on Eder Militao because even last year when Madrid played City, Ramos was suspended. So Militao comes in and people are scared how he's going to perform. But in that very game, Varane ends up fucking it up, and people are still blaming Militao for some reason.
Yeah,
Madrid fans are blaming Militao. No,
it's because
City.
they just love Varane for whatever reason, who hasn't been consistent, and I have a feeling Varane needs some stick from Madrid fans.
The
I
Clasico
think so
will
too.
decide that.
This is a pretty interesting Clasico this time around because last weekend both Madrid and Barca lost in the Liga, and now we'll talk about Barca in just a moment. But Madrid surely need to double down and probably get a good result, because if they don't in the Clasico, that would be 3 games consecutively where they haven't got maximum points.
I was looking at stats, and apparently Madrid have lost 7 of the last 9 games in the Champions League, or something like that.
Ooh,
I
that's
think
not
away
good.
Oh
games or something
shit!
like that. I don't remember what the exact stat was, but
For the
Madrid
record
need to
holding
pull up their
title,
socks.
yeah, for the record holder Champions League winners, it's not a very good
Yeah,
sign.
13-time Champions League winners losing to Shakhtar.
I
I
mean,
mean,
this is football; anything can happen.
yeah, but Zidane needs
Right.
to work on his team.
That is very true. So this is an excellent way to segue into the next topic, which is Barcelona defeating
What we
some
call it.
Fevicol team, which by 5-1. They were red card in the end. But we have a Barca fan on the show, so Tejas, would you like to take it?
You know what? As good as a result that is, I cannot deny. I cannot like just laugh off the fact that our defense is still extremely sus. I mean, if you guys have watched the highlights, at least you have seen the number of times we were exposed on that left flank, and maybe okay, Longley is fast enough to keep up with most attackers, but Gerard Piqué, like there's no way in hell he can catch up to any single person. And in the end, he can't catch up to anyone and ends up just pulling the shirt and finish the booking, and he's gone. And he's missing a vital match against Juventus. So yeah, we can get fucked badly, but I'm optimistic at the same time because Koeman has been doing good things with the Barca team, especially in terms of attack and midfield, with Ansu Fati being in supreme form. Like that kid's amazing.
Oh, he's just 17 years old. That is.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's
17.
17 and he's a regular starter for Barca at this moment,
Yeah,
pulling an
he's
assist and goal every match.
yeah,
Fati could go on a long way.
he's he's kind of replaced Dembele, but to be fair to Dembele, when he came on, he made an impact. Like it was an immediate impact. He got a goal and
Yeah,
an
he had two
assist.
goal contributions in the limited time he had on the pitch.
I think.
That
See, in
is
terms
pretty
of
unusual.
yeah, but in terms of attack, I think the only sore spot for Barca is Griezmann. This I don't know. It's probably a mixture of Koeman not playing him in his favorite position and well, Griezmann is
But
we
Griezmann didn't
were
start this game, did he?
Yeah, he didn't start, so yeah. But then, see, if you're during the international break, if you see Griezmann playing for France, he's so lively on the pitch because he plays his favorite position, that central position. It's what he loves. It's where he loves to play. And
What he
at
likes
Barca,
playing is behind a proper number 9, from what I've seen at
yeah,
least. So that's why when he has
exactly.
Olivier Giroud, then he can make those runs in behind, play 1-2s with him. But if you put him as the sole out and out number 9 and expect people to play around him, that somehow flies in the face of what he is trying to do, which is play around people.
I get what Koeman is trying to see. Koeman's playing Messi as a striker, and Messi has a tendency to drop in deep. And that will naturally attract all the defenders who are marking him to move in deep with him, therefore leaving the flanks fairly open for Fati and, well, usually Coutinho to push and penetrate and attack. That's what Koeman is trying to do. But I don't know. Griezmann just doesn't seem to fit in the system. Maybe 1 or 2 matches he will turn up, but then otherwise it's just not what you want to see from him. He is a world
Right,
class striker. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a Barcelona fan, so let me make this question to you, which is,
Mm.
all things considered, the situation you were in this summer after getting spanked 8-2, do you
Yes.
think things were blown out of proportion then, and how big of a job do you think Koeman has done?
I mean, Coleman. It's just what Coleman's managed. I'd say Coleman needs a bit more time. Definitely, maybe another 2 months will help me form an opinion on him. But I like what I'm seeing. And when you said blowing it out of proportion, no, we very well deserve to be beaten that game. It was a wake up call for the team. And I think under Coleman, the average age of our team has dropped also. So the fact that we are
Yes, that is
utilizing our
definitely true.
young talent, that is hope for the future, because that's how Barca was built, on their young talent, and that's how it should be,
There's a
not
bunch
just
of young
splashing
kids in
money.
that squad now wwho are somehow
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
younger
even
than us too, and they're playing
yeah.
weekend.
There's
people like
Ansu Fati,
Fati,
Fati
Pedri,
70,
and
Pedri,
Uh,
Dest.
your
how
bench
old
is
is
filled with
Trincao?
people.
Yeah, I mean Dembele is also pretty young. He's what, 23? If I'm correct, Dembele.
Yeah, he's 23, I think.
Yeah, and whenever you see, his injury issues aside, he is a good player. He makes an impact whenever he plays. So yeah,
Yes,
the
he
whole
does make
future
an
is
impact in the
bright.
hospital.
But knowing Barcelona, they have a tendency to scuff a lot of things, and we have two very difficult fixtures coming up, which is the Clasico and Juventus. So I think this could be a
Yes,
good
we will
test
cover
for.
those in the next episodes, most definitely.
Yes,
This is going to be an interesting week for Barcelona.
I
Very
think the
true.
Clasico might be interesting for the first time in quite a bit. I think because in the last 2 years it has been pretty dull for the most part. But I think for Barca fans at least it is way more interesting given the new coach, new tactics, and the new style of play. So yeah, good things
Right,
ahead, I
boys.
hope.
Moving on from Spain, the next game was the German Giants facing Atletico Madrid. This was some heavy metal football, like extreme heavy metal shit. Do you guys see this game?
Yeah, I saw a few instances of the game, and Bayern are just so physical. Bayern have been too good, and they have continued their form back into the Champions League again, winning 4-0 over Atletico. I mean,
4-0
Kingsley
against a
Coman.
defensive team is too
Yeah,
good.
I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, Kingsley
exactly.
Coman was
And
phenomenal this game.
I don't know, it's something about that team, dude. They just gel so well together when it comes to pressing the opposition, or not pressing, let's say pushing the opposition. That too.
Dude, they're just
At
physically strong on another level.
Yeah, exactly. They have physicality, they have the speed, they have technique, they have everything in that. Their defense is
Yeah.
quick. Their defense is
Like
strong and quick. That is such a rare thing to find nowadays. Strong and
most
quick.
He's
times
got
when you watch
Nicolas
Bayern
Sule.
Munich play, that dude's too slow though. That dude is
Yeah.
very slow.
That is
He's got
true.
No, but
Nicolas
when you
Sule
watch
and
them play, it feels like you're watching Shaolin soccer. That's what I always say because that's exactly what it looks like. There's balls being lobbed over from here and there. First time volley finishes. Even Toliso's goal on the night. That's some unreal
oof,
shit.
that goal was so good. Tolisso just put that shot in from 30 yards out.
It's kind of ridiculous the amount of squad depth that team has. Like, I think every single position they have at least 3, 4 good players. It's really it's a miracle to see in today's game. And,
That is
fair play to them. Fair play. They've been the last few years they've struggled to pave their way into the Champions League, and I think they deserve all the glory they get now, despite
I
strengthening the
think
team. They deserve
it's a
everything.
situation of the right manager also because over the last
Maybe.
years they've struggled with say a bunch of philosophies. So there was Ancelotti to begin with. Then there
Mm.
was this Asian looking manager. I'm sorry to be racist, but I forgot his name. Uh, then there was before Hansi
Yeah.
Flick came on. Who was their manager? Um, he-
I
even Jupp
forgot.
Forget.
Heynckes, even Jupp Heynckes was in for 2 months, I believe.
Hmm.
Uh, and then I don't know why under Pep they just managed to win the league and the DFB Pokal. I don't know, Champions League just always eluded them
They
in
did
some
make it
way.
to three semi-finals, though. So to win the Champions League, you need a little bit more than say whatever technique, whatever work you've put on the field. You need a lot of luck too. And I believe that 2 out of those 3 seasons they came up against teams which were just genuinely superior. They came up against prime Barcelona and they came up
Mm.
against prime Real Madrid. So two
Hmm.
semi-finals, I believe they were comprehensively beaten.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. Weren't they beaten by Atletico also? No?
Atletico, yes, Atletico also. But it looks like it's revenge time because 4-0 is a pretty big humiliation for Diego Simeone's men.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know.
Joao
You go on, go
Felix
on,
has
go on.
been a flop for Madrid. 120 million. and he
I
has
mean, the
done
fact that they
almost
signed
nothing.
Suarez, the fact that they signed Suarez is a clear indication of how poor he has been for them. Felix has been pretty
But
bad.
I tend to disagree with you guys on like this point at least. So I
Yeah,
believe that
sure.
the money they paid for him was a shit ton. But to call him a flop, I feel is a little bit unfair because the way Atletico lineup is against the big teams at least is 4-4-2 flat. And Yao Felix is a creative player who likes
He,
to make
he's
runs
a
in
center
behind, make
forward.
passes. He's not
He's not.
exactly.
He's
He's
not.
like a Griezmann kind of player, if you get it.
No,
It's
he's not an out and out striker.
But
He's not.
every game, whenever you see him come on in all of these big games, after he comes on, you see how lively he makes the pitch. There's things which he creates that nobody else in that team can. Because Atletico historically are built with strong, fast, tall, breaking players. So that's Rodri when he was there. There was what is the other guy's name?
Costa. Diego Costa.
Diego Costa, Marcus Llorente,
Thomas
even
Partey.
Morata when he was there. Thomas Partey also. So they're built with these people who will break play, who put on like a good 8 out of 10 performance week in, week out. But I feel Yao
Yeah,
Felix isn't in like the ideal environment to play his kind of game, if that makes sense.
makes sense.
See,
Yeah,
I don't think any very creative or flourishing attacker will thrive in an extremely defensive system. There is no way that can happen.
That is true. Koke was the guy I was speaking about earlier,
Okay.
alongside Rodri when they were there.
I mean, he's the central playmaker. Okay, most of the plays stem
Right.
from his thing. But Suarez has been decent for them. That much I cannot deny. Suarez has been a good signing so far because
Yes,
I
he's
mean,
been damn good. He lost 4-0.
yeah, I know this
he
game.
had a
Okay, but
chance in the opening
he had
minutes,
his,
but
he had his chances. He had his chances, just couldn't convert them.
Atletico in general had a lot of chances, I believe, in this game, but
Yeah,
I
they
think
did.
Bayern's defense was pretty good on the night.
yeah, Bayern's
Yeah,
defense has always been pretty good on
but
every night.
and but
Right.
they're the team to be right now. Bayern.
That is
Every team would
definitely
love
there.
to be them.
So, for both of you, the best team in Europe right now?
Bayern, yeah,
Bayern
definitely.
Munich.
Bayern Munich
Okay.
any day.
What about
So,
you?
we're there.
And
I'll
then
reserve
Man
my
City,
judgment until later.
Man City.
So
No, I wanted
asking
to
us the
say,
question.
I wanted to say Man United, but it's fine.
Man United. We need
Boy.
to wait for a few more games to
Maybe if it was
say
6 years
Man
ago, yeah,
United.
I'll agree with you. No, 6 years ago it would
Right.
have been Barca.
More like 16 years ago, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when City didn't exist.
Okay, buddy. We want to take shots there.
Well, moving on. Ajax
Okay. Oh,
Liverpool. What do you guys make of that?
Both deserve to be -1. Both deserve -1. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I don't
this
know what
game,
was Ajax, man.
they didn't have
They're
their
Ajax
just
had
shooting
a
a
going
lot of
on.
chances.
they're just a factory for producing players to be shipped out to the rest of the world, man. This one season, I would like to see them keep the talent they create and go on to win something major. They just like, oh no, this club's offering me this. Get out of it. Bye bye.
But
Take
they're
care of this.
they're in a league which doesn't generate that much revenue, so they
What's it?
need the money.
Eredivisie? Eredivisie? What's it
Yeah,
called?
the
No, but
Eredivisie.
I know, but still, it's
I mean,
frustrating
it
to
would be
see.
nice to watch it, but
No,
I
but
mean,
boys, speaking about this game in particular, this game 1-0 to Liverpool, an own goal from
without Van
Ajax,
Dijk, Tagliafico. I don't know what he was trying to do.
I
Tagliafico,
mean, Ajax created
what?
chances. They came pretty close though, with Fabinho's goal line clearance.
It's a clear case of what Leon syndrome. You create chances, but you just for some fucking reason you don't want to score. Man, I don't know.
But
They
the
created
I
a
biggest
think
lot
worry
of
in this
chances.
game, the biggest
yeah, go on,
worry
go
to
on.
me, at least watching this game, was Adrian in goal. So the defensive woes, I think Liverpool, with some luck, without any further injuries, might be able to solve. But this defensive issue, I mean, the goalkeeping issue is just unreal. Adrian, I do not know what this man is trying to do, what goes on in his head. He comes out, he makes an error, then he yells at his own defense.
Every game he does this. Every game His distribution, he messed up in that, and he's just screaming at the defender for whatever reason. He didn't really need. It's just a case of Liverpool's second choice goalkeeper. They've always been pretty shit. Karius, Adrian,
Yes, there is
Mignolet.
good historical evidence to back that up.
Um,
No, but there was this one time when he tried to come out of the D for a clearance and he just went and bashed into Joe Gomez. And Gomez was mad, man. He was like, "The fuck are you doing, man? You let me clear it."
oh man.
But
But
I think
Mane,
all in all, I believe
Mane,
Ajax did deserve to lose for the.
Yeah,
So I don't
without a
think
doubt.
if you look at statistics like possessions and shots, I do not think that just because you're high in those parameters, so the general notion is that you deserve to win the game. I feel it's like more of a thing about moments in the game, and if you take more advantage of those moments and like more control over them, then you win. And for the number of times Ajax were given the opportunity on a plate, I must say, and they just
yeah.
let it pass. I do not think anyone can say that Liverpool were undeserved winners. You could say they were lucky winners, though.
The thing is, if you're playing a team like Liverpool, you gotta take your chances. If you
Oh,
miss any
100%.
Yeah.
chance, you've practically lost the game.
That is
And
very true. I think you can get more chances now that Van Dijk's gone, but still.
yeah,
Uh,
but still, Liverpool are a very strong team to face.
Okay, yeah, but speaking of their attack, I think the a common question amongst most people is okay, everyone calls Liverpool's attack one of the best in the world, yet their main central player barely seems to bag any goals. Why do you think
He
that
hasn't had
that
a
is?
goal contribution since 2019.
Yeah, but then why do people still consider him to be one of the best in the business at the
I
moment?
don't. I feel I don't know what Firmino does on the pitch, but Salah and Mane seem to carry him. I think Ishan
uh,
has a different opinion on this.
it's not like how different people call him what some ball playing favela, Enganja, Mambo, Jumbo playmaker, false nine or some shit like
Bobby,
that.
they
But
call him Bobby Firmino.
I feel so the way Klopp wants to play, there's only few players on the field who can genuinely be allowed to express or like attack on the field, and they're the two fullbacks who are always high and wide. Then there's the two wingers who make those runs, which is Salah, Mane, Trent. So Trent's the right back, Robertson the left back. So I think these four players are allowed to be like more expressive. But when they're taking so many risks on the field, they need those many other players to come up and clean any counter attacks and stuff like that. So those are the center backs, the three in the midfield, and Bobby Firmino on top. So I feel like if you judge Bobby Firmino's game as a striker, this guy puts up the most fuck all numbers you would have seen. But if you consider his role as simply somebody to clear up or like act as the first press only, it's almost as if he is the cam in the system, but his role is extremely defensive. So the work he does is not shown in say goals or assists, but if you want to judge him as a striker, then those numbers are piss poor. But to the team, I
Yeah.
think he's more useful than that.
Hmm.
You make a fair point, to be honest.
But I feel now that with these compressed fixtures coming up, what we're heading into winter, Klopp is really skeptical about, say, the physical condition of a lot of his players. So I've seen Liverpool challenge Man City for the Premier League title 2 years in a row. 1 year they fell short because we were too good. We won by 1 point. The next year they were incredibly lucky in like in-game moments. There's no denying that. But what they were also lucky with is injuries because they've never had like a long-term injury up till now. So now
And
Alisson,
Yeah.
VAR,
Van Dijk.
and VAR, they were lucky with VAR.
Uh, I was refraining from saying that. Liverpool fans will come at me, but okay.
Liverpool fan.
But now I feel like he's trying to rest more of his players. So yesterday he took off like all of his
Yeah,
front three for.
Yeah, he
all the
took out
front
his
three.
front three, brought in Minamino, Jota, and
And you
Shaqiri.
know, fair play to the three of them. They actually created some good chances. Like
They
there
created
was
good
some,
chances.
there was some slick play over there. They couldn't score, but fair play. Still creating chances.
Right. Boys, there were a bunch of other fixtures over the last 2 days also, which we will cover. The Chelsea Sevilla game was meh. It's a pretty meh game. It ended goalless. It was a goalless draw.
One
What
positive
do you
from
guys
that
make of the
game.
game?
One
What
positive.
was it?
No Kappa, so no goals. Clean
The
sheet.
only positive was that Chelsea kept a clean sheet. I mean, there was nothing in that match.
I mean, Mendy pulled off some good saves. There were some good saves from Mendy, but here and there he did slip up a bit. But fair play to the defense; they played well. I think the attack was a bit lacking this time.
They need some passion. They need to take their chances. They need to score. You cannot
I don't know.
have that performance against Southampton and then drop solo in Sevilla.
Maybe it was fatigue. Maybe he should have rested his players a bit better. But you never know.
Maybe.
Unless we see a all or nothing documentary, we never know what goes on with these teams half the time.
No, but
But
the
yeah,
team he put out yesterday is Chelsea's strongest possible 11. Ask any fan. That is their strongest possible 11 at this moment in time.
Yeah.
attack who all? Pulisic, Werner, and
Mount.
Mount.
Mount. Midfield,
Then there was Kante, there was Jorginho.
Jorginho.
Yeah.
And the
Havertz.
defense is probably the best they have. Yeah, Havertz too. So the
Yeah,
defense
their
was
defense.
Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva,
Uh,
Kurt Zuma,
Zuma,
and Reece James.
Reece James, and Mendy.
So
And
that
the
is their
best goalie
best
also.
four. Oh, you guys heard about Petr Cech being listed on the
Yeah,
Premier
Oh
League
my
squad?
God.
yeah. I mean,
He's
desperate times
38 years
call for
old, man. He's got a
desperate.
belly
38 years
now.
old.
I'm pretty sure he can do more than Kepa, man.
It's really shocking. I mean, you sign an 80 million keeper and you have to bring someone out of retirement.
Like even now, if Kepa still doesn't step up, I really don't know what to do with that kid. Why am I calling kid? He's
I
older
mean,
than
I
me.
don't think he's going to have a chance to step up now. I think it's done out for him. Frank Lampard has said that Mendy is his first choice keeper. I don't think
You
Kepa
know
is
that
going to play
there
another
is a
game.
part of me that feels bad for him. Like you don't want to see this happen to a player, especially to a young player, because it is demoralizing to them. But at the same time, it's so inexcusable to like, what are you doing, man? I
Yeah.
don't know.
His
I
save
mean,
That
percentage is
first,
terrible, dude.
yeah, I mean, he was dreadful his first season, but it was covered up by the fact that they won a trophy. They were fairly, what do you
Which
say?
trophy did they win? Oh, Europa
I think
League.
the Europa League.
yeah, they won
Oh, right.
Europa. So it kind of overshadowed his shittiness. But the next season, God, man, just
Even
Right.
Sevilla were pretty good in this game. So the defense has always been great. And that De Jong generally comes and rescues them. But I
With
feel
his
both
headers.
sides didn't take their chances. So Timo Werner for Chelsea and even the forwards for Sevilla. Timo Werner
Right.
needs to turn up for these games, though, I feel.
He needs to score. Like, he cannot just turn up for one game and then just sit quietly for the next one.
That's
give him
probably.
some time, man.
He
Give
had
him
a lot
some
of
time.
chances in the game. It's not like he was Joe Linton for Newcastle, who had only one chance in the game, and that also he missed.
Dude, but I think it's only been like what 2 games, and Lampard has started playing him at that central position. Otherwise, all this time he was literally playing winger to Tammy Abraham for some odd
Probably,
reason.
right.
I think he'll find his groove. I'm pretty sure he will find his groove.
Right, right. So there was another game which was Manchester City at home versus Porto, and I nearly threw my remote after we went behind early on in the game.
I mean, that
Yeah,
goal was
yeah,
really brilliant. The first one
yeah,
from
man.
Wonderful
Porto.
run.
What do you make of that game, Ishan?
That game, it was. So I feel like Porto lined up very defensively. They played what 5-4-1. They played like almost how Leicester played against City at the Etihad and 1-5-2. So I think they tried
Hmm.
to do exactly that. But I felt that once we made substitutions in the game, that's when the game really changed. So one person I'd like to say big up is Ferran Torres, and I think I've really missed seeing someone of that stature, like a winger who can make runs in behind, whose first intention is always to shift and shoot. Because if you see Riyad Mahrez play, you'll realize how frustrating it is. The man receives the ball on his feet, he does some tiki taka, some step over shit. Again, he'll turn back, he'll pass it back to the right back. He wastes a lot of time, man. It's frustrating watching that dude play.
I mean, I think Pep should start Ferran Torres over Mahrez.
He might start this weekend. It's West Ham away.
Yeah, probably should start.
The other point for me was that my man Eric Garcia started after he said he wants to leave the club. He's still here.
Uh,
And I heard Guardiola's conference after the game. He said maybe we can try to quote unquote seduce him to sign a new contract with us.
oh my God.
I don't know if I really want that, but
Seducing like what Van Bissaka was trying to do. But,
okay,
Oh,
buddy.
enough.
This
Let's.
is a clean podcast. We don't want to bring all that shit.
Yeah. I mean,
uh,
Barca bid 17 million for him, but City refused, and they wanted 20 million for Eric Garcia. I mean, 3 million valuation.
No,
Pep was.
their reasoning was that we value you at 30, the lowest we'll drop is 20. Anything below that, we consider having you here when you know all our defenders get injured more profitable than letting you go for 17.
Makes sense.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
your
as
team
we
has a
saw,
serious injury issue.
Fernandinho went off again yesterday.
Yeah. Is Laporte fit for the next game?
Yeah, probably.
So, well, Garcia won't have to
Finally,
start in the Prem.
he can finally stop
Right.
playing Fortnite. Then good for him.
Boys, a few other games we should quickly cover. Dortmund losing to Lazio 1-3.
Pathetic defense, shambolic.
Yeah, that first
Haaland with
goal, I
one goal
think.
for Dortmund.
Like that first goal, they just watched Ciro Immobile absolutely walk past their team. I don't know what were they doing.
I
I mean,
feel Dortmund have a lot of attacking talent, but defensively they're filled with old players per se.
yeah. I mean, attacking output has been brilliant from them, especially Haaland,
Oh, that's my
scoring week in,
favorite
week
striker.
out.
That
Yo,
is
yeah,
my favorite
Ishan,
striker.
Ishan, Ishan.
Yes, sir.
Just a question. Since you're a big fan of Haaland and he might probably come to City, do you think Haaland is better than Ciro Immobile at the moment?
At the moment, you cannot say so because he Immobile is 10 years older to Haaland and he's in his prime.
Yeah, but then I don't know what's with the. I don't know. Like when Immobile won what? He won the Golden Boot last year, most goals in Europe.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then people were so quick to what do you say? Strike him off, saying, "Ah, no, no, he doesn't deserve it. No, no, he's shit. He's this. He's that." Do you
I don't think
think?
he's shit, but I think in football the most important thing is longevity. So you need to be able to do it week in week out for 10 seasons per se. So give or take to be called world class. So he won Golden Boot once, which is a pretty good achievement. But would you really put him in the world class bracket for one off season?
I
I
don't
don't
think
think so.
world class is the
Yeah,
apt
world
term
class is a
for him.
bit of an exaggeration for
That's a
Mobile.
bit too much.
Right, boys.
But
We have
then,
about 5 minutes to cover these rest of the games. Sorry, Tejas, what were you saying? You finished
no, no,
first.
no, it's fine. Man. It's not a valid point. It's fine. Go ahead, go ahead.
Right. A few more games, which were Juventus winning against Dynamo Kyiv 2-0.
I mean, Morata always steps up in Turin, and he scored a brace here.
Pretty good performance, honestly. One header and
Yeah.
like one rebound.
I think the only thing I'm praying for is Ronaldo is not yet negative for COVID, so he doesn't play against Barca. Inshallah, let's just wait for that.
Hopes.
I
The
mean,
other game on the night was Inter Milan winning 2-0 against Mönchengladbach. Lukaku with 2 goals.
it was
What do you think?
2-2.
How was Eriksen's contribution to the team?
I feel like Antonio Conte is coming up with is to play him more after he has bought Arturo Vidal, because he's going to stick to 3-5-2 anyways. So if he has people, three midfielders out of which two of whom could do the dirty work, then he has the luxury to play Eriksen up front. So I think that's what Vidal has brought to Milan.
And Lukaku has just been phenomenal for Inter, scoring 2 goals here also, Champions League.
Yeah, he's
Lukaku
very
has been playing
brilliant.
very well since he's left United.
He'll take them to the final and then score an own goal.
Oh.
Lukaku.
And
Well,
I
the
think the
next
last
game
game, yes,
was Leipzig versus Istanbul.
Did,
In
I,
this also
did
finished
anyone watch
2-0,
Angelino.
right?
that?
No, Inter Gladbach finished 2-2.
Oh, it finished 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh, my
When
bad.
Lukaku scored two, and then Gladbach had a penalty, and then Hoffman scored 1 goal.
Ah, classic
Wow.
penalty.
We partied too early. But this Angelino masterclass was too good. This man is a left back who doesn't know how to defend, but he's scoring brace in the Champions League.
Left back who doesn't know how to defend. I like the way.
I've been spitting facts, man.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. Yeah, I mean, fair play, you can transition to a good winger then.
Dave, let me ask
Yeah.
you this. Who is the biggest threat to Man United in that group? Leipzig or PSG?
I mean, PSG clearly showed how big of a threat they were. At this point, Leipzig looked pretty strong, but PSG can bounce back in the second game. So let's hope that United keep their form and continue to win games
Dave
without
might have
conceding
jinxed
goals
that.
from the opposition players and just scoring own goals.
Your next game is a home game, right? Against PSG. It's a home game,
Yeah,
no? The next leg.
Yeah, yeah,
it
this was
is,
in
and
Paris.
PSG won 2-0 last time they came to Old Trafford.
Hmm. Let's see.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
And I'm excited for this weekend of football. Chelsea United.
Yes, and the
Ah,
Classico
yes.
also.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
definitely some good content, and you guys just stay tuned. We're gonna give you loads more content. Thank you for all the support you've already shown us. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, share it with your friends so that more people get to know about us and can enjoy our content.
Alright, and feel free to give us the feedback as well in the comments. We
Yeah,
have
you could ask us questions in the comments and we could reply in the next video.
yeah.
Yes, definitely we can do that. Alright, boys, have we covered everything?
I
I
think we
guess
have.
so, yes. I think we have.
Right then, guys. Again, thank you once again, and stay safe and keep watching us. Bye bye.
Hey, see you
Thank you
guys.
guys.
GG's.
Get